Here's our Blue Jays reporter, Scott Mitchell. Scott, so with the loss, the Rangers not only leapfrogged the Blue Jays in the American League wildcard race, they also secure the tiebreaker over Toronto for the season. So not a great start, Scotty. Plus, nobody's shown up to the games, low attendance. Now, what's your takeaway from these first two games of the series?
Yeah, you're saying you wanted this to go a little bit differently. That's, for sure what that coaching staff and everyone in that clubhouse is thinking as well. But it's such a day-to-day sport. It's interesting because, look, I'd ask John Schneider after the game kind of how he views this wild card race at this point and if he thinks it's going down to the last weekend. And you kind of canvass anybody involved with these teams, Seattle, Texas, Toronto. They all think they're going to be going into the final weekend of the season with really not much settled. So losing two isn't going to kill them at this point. It's not going to end their playoff hopes. But yeah, you want to see them play better. And the key reason is you want to see them play better against good teams. They're 17-27 now against the 6 other playoff contenders. And that record drops even further to 20-34 if you put the Boston Red Sox in that mix, who come in this weekend. So they played some really bad baseball against good teams this year. And you obviously know when you get to the postseason, you're going to play the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And the Blue Jays have struggled against good teams, and they've really struggled offensively too. And this has been the storyline. This has been the theme that we've talked about this year. They continue to get good pitching on most nights, but that offense just can't seem to find enough offense at the key times, and it's against the good teams, the good pitchers. Max Scherzer left the game early, but the offense just couldn't get enough done tonight.
Scott, you mentioned it. The pitching's been good. In fact, Hyun-jin Ryu, let's talk about him. Well, let's try to get some silver linings going. 7th straight start allowing 3 earned runs or less. He comes back from Tommy John surgery. I know there was a lot of question just about this guy's career in general, right, Scott? Whether he'd be able to come back and even be effective. And it looks like he actually looks like he's as good as he's ever been at this point.
That's exactly it. He does, and he looks tremendous. And John Schneider called it painting tonight, and he was exactly right. The changeup was nice, the curveball was nice, and those are the two offerings that obviously he makes his money with. And when you look at his arsenal, the velocity's ticking up as little as well. It was 87, 88 when he first came back about a month ago. He was in the 89 range tonight. That doesn't sound like a whole lot in this day and age, but if he has an extra tick or two, it sharpens everything up, and he went 6 innings for the first time since he's been back, and he's been a real key cog in this rotation. And when you look at it moving forward, he's making himself a whole lot of money right now because he essentially had a 2-month platform to prove that he's healthy going into free agency, because that 4-year, $80 million deal that they signed him to is up at the end of this year. And I talked to him. He has not been approached about a contract extension yet, so there's a good chance he's going to head into free agency. But if I'm the Blue Jays right now, I look at him in my 5th rotation spot, and I think that's a pretty good solution for 2024.
That is our Blue Jays reporter, Scott Mitchell. Scott, thank you for this.
Anytime. Just waiting for the leaf blowers, Jay.